Yeah, fellow brothers and sisters, hey, it's Friday again. Welcome back to my studio. Today we're going to look at certain things. But before we set up, today our topic is Ghana and the decentralization governance. Please know that all the information here were taken from one, the Local Government Act, the Local Government Department of District Assembly, Commencement Instrument 2009, and the Legislative Instrument 1961. Three, the local government system in Ghana. These were the three documents where I had all this information from. Now let's look at the background information. Ghana is a constitutional republic with a parliament. The head of the state and the government is executive president, who is directly elected for a maximum of 2 4-year terms by universal adult suffrage, with a minimum of 50% of the vote. Now the 275 members of parliament, which is the MPs, are directly elected by universal suffrage from single seat constituencies under the first past the post system for 4-year terms. The cabinet, known as the Council of Ministers, is nominated by the president and approved by the parliament. The president has an appointed advisory body, which is the Council of State, made up of 25 prominent citizens. Of these 25, the membership should include one, a former Chief Justice, a former Chief of Defense, a former Staff Inspector General of Police, and then the President of the National House of Chiefs. One federal representative member is indirectly elected from each of the regions by an electoral college made up of 2 nominated councils from each district within the region. Now, the local government is enshrined in the Constitution as a decentralization, and the main relevant legislation is the Local Government Act 2016, Act 936. There are 3 types of assemblies at the higher levels of local government. These are metropolitan, municipal, and the district. There are also substructures that do not hold any legislative or written powers, but undertake activities delegated to them by the assemblies. Hence, the sub-metropolitan, district, urban, town, zonal and area councils, and unit committees. Now, the objective of the decentralization, the purpose or objectives of the decentralization governance in Ghana is to ensure administrative and financial decentralization and to give opportunities to people to participate in decision making at a level in national life and the government. Now, the requirement for the establishment of the decentralization, legal basis for local government under the constitution provision. Now, local government is enshrined in Article 241-3 as is decentralization, Article 240-2. Article 35 requires the state to take appropriate measures to ensure administrative and financial decentralization and to give opportunities to people to participate in decision making at every level in national life and the government. The Constitution also establishes the district assemblies, common fund, and provide for not less than 5% of total government revenues to be paid to the district assemblies for development. Structure of the decentralization. The assemblies are the highest unit of the local government. There are 3 types: 6 metropolitan, 58 municipal, and 154 district assemblies. There are also sub-districts, political and administrative structures, which are subordinate bodies of the assemblies. This includes sub-metropolitan, district, urban, town, zonal and area council, and unit committees. Now, the responsibility of the decentralization. The Minister of the Local Government and Rural Development, which is the MLGRD, is responsible for the local government. Now, the responsibility of that department is the local government policy. That is 1. 2, monitor the effective of local government and the decentralization process. 3, advising government on local government issues. 4, promoting and administering local government training institutions, acting in an advisory capacity to district assemblies and approving their bylaws. The supervisory role of the MLGRD has in some cases led to the suspension of district assemblies where financial irregularities were discovered. Now, the district assemblies are responsible for the central administration of the department. This is 1A. The Central Administrative Department is the secretariat to the district assembly and shall be responsible for the provision of support services, effective and efficient general administration and organization of the district assembly. 1B. The department shall manage all sessions of the assembly, including 1. Records, that is Legislative Instrument 1961, estates, transport, logistics and procurement, accounts, stores, security, and human resources management. Now, 1C, the department shall also coordinate the 1. General administrative functions, development planning and management functions, budgeting functions, rating functions, statistics and information services, and human resources planning and development of the district assembly. There are also numerous grants transferred from national to local government, the most important of which is the District Assembly Common Fund, which provide for an allocation of not less than 5% of the total government revenue to the District Assembly annually. Now, let's look at the challenges and some possible solutions to the decentralization. 1. Both the regional minister and the district executive are politically appointed. Okay. If we have the regional minister and the chief executive coming from the same pot, where would then be the checks and balances? Because the decision will come from the same pot down to the people for us to be able to absorb and see how best we can make it. So the places where the checks and balances who come from is already blocked. So there is a challenge. Now, the solution, the solution is my own opinion, is why the regional minister could be politically appointed, the district chief executive must be elected from the assembly. Here it means that the district chief executive should have held the position of an assemblyman or a woman in the district before. Because if you take position of an assemblyman or a woman, then you know exactly what is happening in the grassroots. And being aware of it, that is that when you are given that high position, you might be able to rescue the people in the community. But if you don't have no background, because according to the district assembly, the chief executive, anybody can apply. Once you have held a managerial position, you can apply without being an assemblyman. Which, of course, if you are not an assemblyman, how will you be able to know what is really happening? That is my own solution. That is my thinking, that at least the chief executive should be elected from the district assembly. Then at least you have the background of the whole procedure between the assembly and the people and the development and whatever goes on around the corner. Okay, that is my own thing. Now, the second thing is revenue mobilization. That is the second challenge. It could be observed from the functions of the district financial department. And I'm going to say what the functions are, because most of us were not, informed about the financial department of the district assembly. So I'm going to give the whole brief of it. Now, the financial department of the district assembly is responsible for the sound financial management of the district assembly's resources. And the department ensure access at all reasonable times to files, documents, and other records of the district assembly. 2. Keep, render, and publish statements on public accounts. 3. Keep receipts and custody of all public and trust monies payable into the consolidated fund. 4. Facilitate the disbursement of legitimate and authorized funds. 5. Prepare financial report at specific periods for the assembly. 6. Prepare payment vouchers and financial encumbrances. 7. Undertake revenue mobilization activities of the assembly. And 8. Make provision for financial services to all departments in the district. Now, if we look at it from the functions of the revenue of the financial department, the only place from the 7 things that I said, the only place that brings in money to the district assembly is undertake revenue mobilization activities of the assembly. Now, when he makes the money from the 7, the 8 he's spending in a day, because the 8 is saying make provision for the financial services to all departments in the district. So he undertake revenue mobilization and then supply the money to all the departments in the district. So if we look at how we collect the money, how much money do we get out of it? Now we come back to it and we see something. Now, observing the above clearly shows why most of the districts are not able to initiate any development. This is my opinion. The district assembly should evaluate all the revenue collecting points in the district. Taking secondary Takrady, examples of revenue collecting points are secondary and Takrady markets, Isikado, secondary and new Takrady fishing port, operations of businesses and enterprises, traffic regulations offenses, property rates, then citizen tax, also known as lampoon, as we were kids. However, by the evaluation, those collecting points that need attention should be given the maximum priority, while those who are not applicable should be obliterated and replaced. The third challenge that we are facing at the moment with the decentralization program is effective monitoring and evaluation. And this comes from lack of staff and logistics. The solution is the district assembly needs enough staff for both office and field, and equally enough logistics for monitoring and evaluating all the properties, all the projects and programs in the district. If we should be able to have enough staff on the field that will be monitoring what we have been doing, at least we'll be informed to see where we have reached and where we want to go. If we have people, enough staff at the offices, whatever comes in there is not going to stay there for about 1 month's time before somebody will come from a leave, before a paper will sign. At least there will every time there will be somebody there to take care of whatever comes in the office there, because that is what the office is meant for. But then we also need logistics. But the logistics will come from all the revenue collecting points. If we are making maximum collection from all these points, there is no way we might not be able to develop our communities. There is no way we might not be able to develop the district. Technically, we've got the resources. We've got enough collecting points to collect money to develop the metropolis the way we want to do it. Family, today is Friday, and I don't want to spoil your time. And like always, I see the subscribers more are coming. Let's get ourselves informed, because when we get ourselves informed, then we will know who is responsible for all the problems and the challenges that we are going to go through. Fellow brothers and sisters, we'll see you again. God be with you. Yes, I.